They're not bears on unicycles! You are under arrest!
As the world watches Russia's recent military actions in Ukraine, many are wondering what impact these events will have on Russia's economy. Some experts are predicting that the country's economy is on the verge of implosion, while others believe that it is still too early to tell. One major factor contributing to concerns about Russia's economy is the country's reliance on oil and natural gas exports. Russia is the world's largest energy exporter, with oil and natural gas accounting for over half of the country's export revenue. With the global price of oil and gas falling in recent years, Russia has seen a significant drop in revenue. In addition to the drop in energy prices, Russia's economy has also been hit by Western sanctions imposed in response to the country's actions in Ukraine. These sanctions have targeted Russia's financial sector, energy industry, and defense industry, and have had a negative impact on the country's ability to do business with the rest of the world. Despite these challenges, Russia's economy has remained relatively stable in recent years. The country has been able to weather the storm thanks to its large foreign currency reserves and a relatively low level of foreign debt. However, experts warn that the country's reliance on energy exports leaves it vulnerable to external shocks, and that the economy could be in trouble if oil and gas prices continue to fall. Another factor contributing to concerns about Russia's economic future is the country's demographic crisis. Russia has a rapidly aging population, with a declining birth rate and an increasing number of people reaching retirement age. This has led to a shortage of workers and a growing burden on the country's pension system. Additionally, Russia's economy has been plagued by corruption and a lack of transparency. The country ranks poorly on global indices of corruption, and many businesses and individuals have been accused of using their connections to the government to gain an unfair advantage in the marketplace. This has contributed to a lack of trust in the country's economic system, and has made it difficult for businesses to operate and for foreign investors to feel confident about putting their money in Russia. So, is Russia's economy about to implode? It's difficult to say for certain. The country has weathered many challenges in the past, and has proven to be resilient. However, the combination of declining energy prices, Western sanctions, demographic issues, and corruption could create a perfect storm for the country's economy. Only time will tell if Russia is able to overcome these challenges and emerge stronger, or if the country is headed for an economic collapse. Russia's economy has been facing significant challenges in recent years, and there are a number of reasons why it is doing so poorly. Some of the key factors include sanctions. In 2014, the United States and European Union imposed economic sanctions on Russia in response to its annexation of Crimea, and involvement in the conflict in eastern Ukraine. These sanctions targeted key sectors of the Russian economy, including finance, energy, and defense, and have had a negative impact on growth and investment. Oil dependence. Russia is heavily reliant on oil exports to drive its economy, and the recent decline in global oil prices has had a significant impact on the country's economic performance. In 2014, oil prices fell by more than 50%, and although they have partially recovered since then, they remain well below their pre-2014 levels. This has led to a significant reduction in Russia's export revenues and a decline in its overall economic performance. Structural issues. Russia's economy has long been plagued by structural issues, including a lack of diversification, corruption, and poor governance. These problems have hindered the country's ability to adapt to changing economic conditions and have contributed to its ongoing economic struggles. Geopolitical tensions. Russia's ongoing tensions with the United States and Europe have also had a negative impact on its economy. The threat of further sanctions and the general uncertainty surrounding Russia's relations with the West have discouraged investment and hindered trade. Domestic challenges. Russia has also faced a number of domestic challenges, including high levels of inflation and a declining population. These problems have further hindered the country's economic growth and made it more difficult for its citizens to thrive. Overall, there are a number of factors that have contributed to Russia's current economic struggles. While some of these challenges are external, others are related to the country's domestic policies and structural issues. In order to overcome these challenges and improve its economic performance, Russia will need to address these issues and work to improve its relations with the rest of the world. So, it's a very complex and multifaceted problem that requires comprehensive and long-term solutions. As tensions between Russia and the West continue to escalate, one question remains on the minds of many: is there any way for Russia to save their economy? To answer this question, we must first understand the current state of Russia's economy. In recent years, Russia has struggled with low oil prices, international sanctions, and a declining ruble. These factors have led to a recession, high unemployment, and rising inflation. But is there any hope for Russia's economy? Let's explore some potential solutions. Solution 1: increase oil production and prices. Oil is one of Russia's primary exports, and as such, an increase in oil prices and production could greatly benefit the country's economy. In the past, Russia has relied on oil and natural gas exports to drive economic growth. However, with the rise of alternative energy sources and a decrease in global demand for oil, this strategy may no longer be sustainable. To increase oil production and prices, Russia could consider investing in new technologies, such as offshore drilling or hydraulic fracturing, to extract oil from previously untapped reserves. Additionally, Russia could work with other oil-producing countries to form a cartel, similar to OPEC, to limit supply and drive up prices. However, this solution is not without its drawbacks. Increasing oil production could have negative environmental consequences, and forming a cartel may be met with resistance from other countries. Additionally, relying too heavily on oil exports could make Russia's economy vulnerable to future fluctuations in the market. Solution 2: diversify the economy. Another potential solution for Russia's economy is to diversify its industries. Currently, Russia relies heavily on the energy sector, which makes up a large portion of its GDP. Diversifying the economy would allow Russia to spread risk and be less reliant on any one industry. One way to diversify the economy is to invest in new technologies, such as renewable energy or advanced manufacturing. Another option is to focus on exporting non-energy products, such as agricultural goods or consumer products. However, diversifying the economy will take time and require significant investment. Additionally, it may be difficult for Russia to compete with other countries that already have a strong presence in these industries. Solution 3: implement structural reforms. Russia's economy is also hindered by structural issues, such as corruption and a lack of competition. To address these issues, Russia could implement structural reforms to create a more business-friendly environment. One way to do this is by reducing bureaucracy and streamlining the process for starting and operating a business. This could help to attract foreign investment and encourage entrepreneurship within Russia. Additionally, cracking down on corruption and increasing transparency could help to create a more level playing field for businesses.